The man pried open his glasses, then stacked the two lenses together. Next, he broke off a pine branch, took some pine needles, chewed them in his mouth until they turned into a paste, and smeared it between the two lenses, creating a makeshift magnifying glass. He inserted a hollow straw into the setup, filled the lenses with saliva, and adjusted their position. Under the sunlight, he focused the lenses on a pile of dry grass. White smoke slowly rose, and the man quickly added firewood, blowing fiercely to fuel the flames. Unexpectedly, he suddenly grabbed his cup and poured water to extinguish the fire. As the sizzling sound echoed from the rock, he took out a knife and began chiseling at the charred spot. Soon, a rusted iron nail was revealed, driven deep into the rock. The other end clamped around his ankle. This was all his own doing. He had tried to desert the military, but was caught. Punishment was inevitable. The officer had shackled him here, forcing him to remain on the battlefield until his final breath. Before leaving, the officer left him rations and bullets. No one wants to die, including this man. He had attempted to shoot through the chains with bullets, but failed repeatedly. Fortunately, his knowledge of physics gave him a new plan to break free. A glimmer of hope. He poured cold water onto the heated rock while hacking at the cracked surface with his knife. The fighter jets roaring overhead terrified him. If discovered, he would surely die. Time was critical. He had to burn and dig faster. Except for eating and resting, he focused entirely on the task. But a new problem arose. All nearby flammable materials were exhausted. His last chance lay in his final cup of drinking water. Without hesitation, he grabbed the scorching firewood barehanded, poured the water onto the rock, and tried to pull out the nail. Despite his efforts, it remained immovable. Defeated, he collapsed onto the rock. After a night's rest, he devised another plan. Using a buckle from an iron bucket, he secured a bullet tip, twisted it to split the casing, and poured the gunpowder into a tin can. Adding remnants of burned debris and flammable material as a fuse, he placed a stone atop to concentrate the heat. He lit dried grass, dropped it into the pit, and hid under the rock, covering himself with his coat. A muffled explosion shook the ground. When the coast seemed clear, he emerged, yanked the chain with his hands, then kicked it fiercely. The nail finally loosened. Fueled by hope, he used his rifle sling to hook a stone, dragged it closer, and began smashing the nail. Exhausted but determined, he wrapped his hands in cloth for grip, clenched his teeth, and pulled with all his might. The nail gave way. Free at last, the man grinned wildly, his escape now within reach.